I'm really liking the responses that people have been posting in the comment section of the video. Are the ladies bad friends to Karen by hanging out with Fatima? And a majority of people have said no. It's like, no, no. Andy, Danny, and Sabrina are not bad friends because they're hanging out with Fatima. However, I think that a number of people have stated, and if I remember correctly, I said this in the video itself. It isn't that the girls are being bad friends to Karen, because guess what, Karen? Your friends can have friends outside of just you. The problem is the girls aren't really being fair to Fatima by only inviting her to events if Karen either doesn't want to show up or isn't able to show up. Because at the beginning of this video, you saw the clip where Fatima gets home from the brunch with the girls back in episode 2. And Zach asked, how everything went. But then, he asked the question, was Karen there? No. Oh, so do you think that's why they invited you? Probably, yeah. So just based on Zach's reaction, it almost seems like this isn't the first time this has happened. This is no doubt the first time the girls have gotten caught, though, because I'm pretty sure over the past 3 months between all of their new relationships, Karen, dealing with the pregnancy, as well as the salon getting built, the new salon getting built up and whatnot. I'm sure there have been a number of times where Karen just couldn't make it, not because, she just, no, y'all going to be drinking. It's like, no, I literally can't come because, I got to be here because, Brian, is helping me out with this. I really do feel like those two got close for at least a few weeks until he dropped the job because of his wife. But I do feel like the girls have had these almost secret meetups with Fatima behind Karen's back. And yeah, I agree. Karen, they're not obligated to you. It's just that Karen has this mindset of, I've been friends with y'all longer for years, and then this chick just gonna come out of nowhere, and y'all, it's like the age-old argument she keeps using against Andy. Like, I've known you longer. Well, that don't mean anything. I mean, think about it. There are people who have been married to someone for like 25 years. Then they get a divorce because the relationship was always toxic. There was always one person giving and the other person only taking. They really weren't compatible, yet for whatever reason they got together. But then a person who's brokenhearted after that divorce, they meet someone, and in the span of a few weeks, a few months, that new person changed their life in ways that the ex-spouse they had for 25 years never did. Time doesn't mean crap. It's what you do with that time that makes things more, it doesn't matter the quantity of time you have. It's the quality of what you do with it. There you go. Boom. There you go. I got it right. I just made it up. Look, that's probably somebody's quote. I'm literally just making it up as I go along. But I think back to how after the whole salon fire, when I think it was Sabrina that mentioned something to the effect of, remember that time where we ate that ice cream and Karen didn't speak to us for a week? And I'm just thinking to myself like, wow. Going back to the college days, this woman was so, head up her own ass that she was, look, I ain't gonna lie though. If somebody eats my food or something like that, I get pissed because, I'm not against sharing with someone if they ask, but it's like, just respect my stuff. And so I will admit I can relate to Karen on some level with that. But yeah, to say that she was so mad that she didn't speak to the girls for like a week. And I think that even caused kind of a mini rift between all the girls. So they all didn't talk to each other for like a couple of weeks over some damn ice cream because she's the spoiled brat of the group. And it always seems to have been this way. But Fatima is rocking the boat, and not on purpose. Fatima's just being herself. She's just like she showed Zach that, oh, wow, this is what it feels like when a woman believes in me. I can actually get shit done. I think the other girls are realizing, oh, this is what it's like to have a real one in our group. Someone who isn't, all about herself. And I mean, I've said it time and time again. Fatima in her short time interacting with, and I'm not even counting Andy, her short time interacting with the likes of Sabrina and Danny, she has, helped them out in ways that Karen never could. And to this day, I don't think Sabrina is aware the pivotal role that Fatima played in getting her out of jail by introducing Andy to her cousin Madam, orchestrating the meeting in the jail with her, and then that led to the robbing assistance, and that got her out of jail. Of course, Danny was there on the couch when, Fatima gave her help with the Jonah situation, and, real recognizes real. I mean, these two hit it off when they first met back in season 2. So for me, I think that Fatima, it is kind of sad that she knows she's, I don't even want to say being used. You know how like with New Edition, after Bobby got voted out and then Johnny Gill was brought into the fold, like Ralph was told like, yeah, they're bringing, well, actually, no, Ralph didn't know about Johnny because I guess Johnny was told by Mike Bivens that, hey, you're going to be the new Ralph. And then, in some iterations of the story, I was actually watching a couple of old BET interviews from like the early 2000s around the One Love era, that, Ralph was told like, oh, okay, so Johnny, okay, y'all brought him in so we can get like to the 5-man group. So we'll be back to where we have Bobby, but it's 5 men because the choreography looks tighter with 5 of us as opposed to 4. But in the situation with the sisters, I know that that wasn't a random example just to make a random example. I'm talking about the numbers of the group. I don't think Fatima was brought into the fold simply because Andy, Sabrina, and Danny wanted to have 4 girls together like they always do because Karen isn't there. No, I think it's just that they realized that, man, the only time we can have Fatima around is when Karen isn't around to avoid any sort of friction and whatnot. And I guess you could say that Karen simply, caught the girls with their hands in the cookie jar, because going back to the video about all the ladies' bad friends, when Karen, or actually no, go back to the video about Karen making Sabrina's big day all about her. And that's a sharp contrast to the salon grand opening when all the girls showed up late after promising to help with the setup. And for the most part, all of them had legitimate reasons for being late. Aside from Danny, she did say she honestly forgot, but she was the one who scheduled her therapy appointment for that day, as opposed to saying, ooh, can we do it like the day after? I actually have something planned to help my girl get set up for her new salon opening. Andy was in the midst of a freaking crisis at work, and Sabrina's barely holding on, trying to maintain her job after getting rehired back. So those two had reasonable alibis. Andy more so because, look, she footed the bill for this dang building in the first place. But more to the point, Karen was in her feelings about the girls coming in there and making everything about them with their own drama. And then Andy's like, we always talk. But the thing is, it's hard to really gauge what Karen is mad about because she's usually always mad. Was it because the girls were late after they promised to help set up? Was it because they strolled in late talking about all their own drama as opposed to focusing on Karen's big day? Or was she just in her feelings because of the whole brunch situation, even though she was the one who decided, I'm not going. Okay, I'll show up. So it's like, hey, that's on you. Don't be mad because you didn't accept your initial invitation to the party and then get mad when they invited someone you didn't like. So I don't really know what the problem is here. But yeah, a lot of people are talking about Fatima needing better friends. But I mean, all she has is Angela, because I would not be shocked if that in season 3 of Zatima, Fatima and Belinda still aren't talking. I know Belinda's in the season, so I guess maybe they are possibly going to be back to being friends, because if not, why is Belinda there? But aside from Angela, that's pretty much it. So she is close with Andy, and the other girls do like her, minus Karen. So I mean, I wouldn't say Fatima settling, but it's just a matter of, the girls need to make a choice at some point. They need to make a choice at some point. And I feel like this DNA test is definitely going to be the reason for a rift in the group. I feel like this DNA test and the results, it won't just change the dynamic between Karen, Fatima, and Zach, but it's also going to change the dynamic of the entire sister circle along with Fatima. So with that being said, I think the girls are, and I agree with a lot of people, the girls really aren't, being fair to Fatima by keeping her in the rafters until Karen is just, not available to show up. So what do you think? At what point in the season do you think the girls will have to make a choice? And if they do have to choose, who will they pick, Karen or Fatima? I think the obvious pick is Fatima because things are a lot easier with her than with Karen. But, you know, hey, she stole my man and now she stole my girls too, even though you're the one who always gave them ultimatums. So at the end of the day, Fatima didn't take anybody. Fatima just showed up being herself, and it showed the women what it's like to have a friend who isn't all about herself, but is there for each other. So, hey, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you in the next video.